Hey guys, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home. Welcome to the new year 2021, and I've got some really exciting 4K and some Blu-ray releases that I want to tell you guys about. So 2021 is going to be another big year for physical media, and I've got a lot of this information from good authority on solid sources, some 4K titles that are going to be coming out which have not been announced anywhere as far as I know, and then some others which have been announced but I don't think are getting much attention. So I'm going to kind of give you a full 4K release outlook. Most of this stuff is going to be available within the next, 3 to 6 months. Past that, I don't really know what's coming except for a few titles that are slated for this year at some point. But I'll do another one of these videos halfway through the year to update you on what's coming in the second half. But we've got a great list today. I'm just going to run through the list, give you my thoughts on what I think about each release and how excited I am for them, let you know what I'm anticipating the most. Otherwise, talk a little bit about each movie and give you estimated dates. So right off the bat, there are a couple really cool 4K and a Blu-ray movie that are coming out in February. You may have missed these, so we'll go through them real quick. The first one is Do the Right Thing 4K, Spike Lee's movie. That may be disappointing to those of you who bought the Criterion Collection Blu-ray, but it was a 4K scan, so it was sort of inevitable that Universal may put it out on 4K. We saw them do this with other movies like Parasite that went Criterion and also got a 4K release. And not surprising, but Do the Right Thing will be available 4K. That's on February 2nd. Then the following week, on the 9th of February, we have Elysium coming in 4K from Neil Blomkamp. I'm sure you know his movies, and he had just District 9 just came out in 4K. So that's a really good one, and looks like we're getting his next movie and potentially could get a few others. But Elysium's coming on February 9th. And then on February 16th, the next week after that, this is a Blu-ray release, but it's one that I'm super nostalgic for, so I'm excited about. First time on Blu-ray, at least in the US, Nickelodeon and Paramount, they are releasing Good Burger on Blu-ray. That is a day one pickup for me. I watched Good Burger, I think it was on Netflix, and it's been since taken off. It may still be on there, but I watched it literally within the last couple of years, and it still had me cracking up. Keenan and Kel and their dynamic in that movie, hilarious. So a super nostalgic buy, but I figured, a lot of people are around the same age as me, and you'd be interested in Good Burger. So February 16th, you can get that one on Blu-ray for the first time. Now heading into March, there are some big titles coming in March, but the first one is actually a Blu-ray that, again, you guys may be interested in. It is She's the Man, Amanda Bynes and Channing Tatum. First time on Blu-ray, debuting from Paramount Pictures again. They've been doing a great job putting out catalog titles, at least on Blu-ray, if not on 4K. And that's going to be available on March 2nd, so that's probably another very nostalgic buy for a lot of us. Then there isn't much sort of earlier in the month that I'm too excited about yet or noteworthy, but later in the month we have some really nice 4K releases. The first one coming on March 23rd, and that is Gattaca. There's going to be a 4K steelbook available. I'm really excited for Gattaca. I haven't seen it in a while, but it is a really interesting movie, and I'm a big Ethan Hawke fan. I think he's one of the most underrated actors out there, so I think it has potential to be a really nice 4K release, and it's coming from Sony, so they always do a great job. And then the following week on March 30th, we have one really well-known release on 4K, and one you may not know about, but you should be interested in. The first one is The Ten Commandments, obviously the epic movie. That's getting a 4K release on March 30th, so that one should be very good. That's, obviously shot on film, high quality movie, high quality cameras at the time, and I'm sure that a pretty good scan has probably been preserved out there. I know this has gone around. I think it's been shown in like 70 millimeter. It's one of those like big Panavision movies, if I remember correctly, so it should be a really nice 4K release, a really nice transfer that I'm excited about. And then also on March 30th, this is coming from Severin Films, who not as well known, but a cult horror distributor, very much in the same vein as like Vinegar Syndrome or Synapse. And they're putting out the Spanish horror movie Day of the Beast, and that's going to be a 4K release. So if you're into European horror movies, this is a really cool one. Some details here on the screen for you, but I'm really excited for it. I love, especially once I saw what Blue Underground did with like Zombie and Maniac, and House by the Cemetery and the other Lucio Fulci movies. I'm really excited to see some more of this kind of 4K cult horror get restored and put on 4K. So that was a cool one I wanted to throw in here as a very, probably niche thing, but could be very interesting to some of you collectors. Now, as we get into April and into May, this is where some of the stuff that really hasn't been announced yet. I have very good sources who have told me that this stuff is coming. They've been correct in the past with other ones that I've announced, so I fully 100% trust these sources, and hopefully you guys do too as well. But first one up in April, we're going to get Gravity on 4K. So Gravity, a great space movie, George Clooney, Sandra Bullock, that's pretty much everyone who's in it. And it kind of has this notoriously expensive Blu-ray that has an Atmos track on it from the Diamond Deluxe collection. And then it has another Blu-ray which doesn't have Atmos on it. So don't buy either of them because we're getting a 4K and it will come with Dolby Atmos. So that's going to be a really nice movie to see in 4K, and being able to get that Atmos track on the 4K and have it at a much cheaper price point, that's going to be a really good thing for collectors. So Gravity in 4K, very excited for that one. So no date yet, I just know that'll be April. We do have a couple dates on other movies though, one of which is Spaceballs in 4K. That's coming from Kino Lorber, who recently did the Mad Max 4K release, the original Mad Max. That's going to be available on April 13th. And then on April 27th, we're getting The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, the Clint Eastwood Western, spaghetti Western classic. That's coming to 4K. Kino Lorber is putting that out. They already did a 4K scan of this and they've released it on Blu-ray. It's a very good picture. So I'm interested to see how big an upgrade this new 4K will be over that existing Blu-ray. I'll be sure to get a review out on that when I have it. But April 27th, that one will be available. And based on what I know about their catalog and what they're going to do, they probably will release the rest of the Man with No Name trilogy on 4K at some point as well. Now this one, I'm not sure if it's going to be late April or May yet. It could be May. It's all going to depend on release dates, but Wonder Woman 1984 is obviously coming to 4K disc. So if you skipped the kind of crappy stream on HBO Max, you didn't get to see it in theaters, you should be able to see it fairly soon. Based on what I know about release schedules, Wonder Woman probably will end its theatrical run sometime at the end of January. Then we'll have March, April, and either at the end of April or May, you'll get that release. Now, I can confirm that there is going to be a special edition release, which will have a bonus disc with a bunch of extras on it. That will be another edition that's available. And the 4K is going to have both Dolby Vision and HDR10+. So even if you don't have a Dolby Vision capable TV, maybe you have a Samsung with HDR10+, it's going to have both premium formats on it, which is really nice. It was only available in Dolby Vision on HBO Max, so the disc will have both options. So now into May, and another couple exciting catalog releases again from Warner Brothers. The first one is Godzilla, 2014 Godzilla. Before Godzilla King of the Monsters, there's the movie with Bryan Cranston and Aaron Taylor Johnson. Elizabeth Olsen was in it, and that's what kicked off this whole Godzilla and Kong sort of monster universe that Warner Brothers has been building. So Godzilla is currently getting a 4K restoration. It'll be available sometime in May. That should be a really good one, especially from a sound standpoint. I think that this should have Atmos, and that'll be really exciting because those Godzilla movies have some of the best Atmos tracks out there. And this kind of coincides also with the release of Godzilla vs. Kong, or Kong vs. Godzilla, whatever they're calling it. It's going to coincide with that releasing on HBO Max and in theaters in May as well. And then also in May, a really exciting one. It started to leak today as I was making this video, but A Clockwork Orange, Stanley Kubrick, that will be coming to 4K in May as well. Date, the exact date TBD, but more Kubrick in 4K is always a great thing. So far, I have not been disappointed by any of them. Full Metal Jacket, 2001, The Shining, they've all been awesome. So Clockwork Orange, just another one to add to your Kubrick collection. If you're into that sort of stuff, I think it'll be a really, really great 4K transfer that I'm really excited for. So that kind of gets you up through May. And then I do know the rest of kind of Warner Brothers 4K catalog for this year. And this is stuff that probably hasn't been reported anywhere yet, but my sources, I believe in them. And like I said, I believe these are coming 100%. So I don't know when they'll come. This is for the entire year. These could come in the fall. These could come in the winter. We'll see what happens. But sometime in 2021, barring any craziness, these will be coming to 4K. First one is Shawshank Redemption. That should be a really exciting 4K disc. Obviously a classic movie. Has developed sort of a serious, I don't even know if I'd call it a cult following. It wasn't a huge box office success, but as it's been played on TV and people have picked it up on home video over the years, it's become like one of the top 10 movies of all time, according to IMDb rankings and many other film rankings. It's up there. So that one's coming to 4K. That'll be a really exciting one. Then we're also getting the original Space Jam in 4K. That's going to come out to coincide with the Space Jam sequel with LeBron James. We're going to get Space Jam in 4K. That'll be an interesting 4K disc because of the mix of live action and animation and how those look side by side. That could be a really jarring thing in 4K. We'll have to see what that one looks like, but the colors on it should be great. Very colorful, obviously vibrant movie, especially in the world of the Looney Tunes, and another nostalgic favorite for me that I know I'll be picking up. Then outside of that, there are two more. Mad Max 2 is going to be worked on. So Kino Lorber did the first Mad Max movie on 4K earlier in 2020, towards the late 2020. Mad Max 2 is being worked on by Warner Brothers. I don't know if that'll be a Warner release, if they're doing it in conjunction with Kino. I think it'll probably be a Warner Brothers release, but we will get Mad Max 2. And then one that I'm really excited for because I just love this movie and I think it has potential to be an awesome 4K disc. We're getting Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory on 4K in 2021. Should be super exciting. Again, HDR in that could be eye-popping. You got a really nice film transfer, and I'm sure it has a pretty solid source. Everything I've seen from Warner Brothers kind of points to them having really good source material to work with. So I'm really excited. Full 4K resolution, some HDR on that, maybe a new soundtrack, a new surround sound. But Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, obviously everybody loves that movie, and we will be getting a 4K this year. So that's really exciting, and that's what I know right now. There's sure to be lots more. I'm sure Paramount has some stuff up their sleeves. There'll also be, more current releases like the Wonder Woman 84s, your Kong versus Godzilla, all the other Warner movies that are coming out this year, and potentially some other movies that have come out on streaming or may have to go direct on demand. We'll see what happens with the rest of the year, but obviously we'll have all those new releases, but I get the most excited about the catalog stuff, the Gravities, Willy Wonka, Elysium, Spaceballs, 10 Commandments, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Even stuff like Good Burger and She's the Man is really exciting to have on HD physical media. So it's a really exciting list. 2021 should be a great year, and this doesn't include all the great work that, Scream Factory, Arrow, Synapse, Vinegar Syndrome, all these other guys, Blue Underground, Kino, Olive Films, you name it, all these other companies that could potentially come out with really great discs. So I'll keep you updated as I learn more. That kind of gives you a quick glimpse into what 2021 is going to look like. Tons of great stuff, at least in the next 3 to 6 months to look forward to. So it's a really exciting time to be a collector. I'm excited. You should be excited. This is really good news for everyone. So that's about it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you're subscribed to the channel and you have your notifications on. That way, when these reviews go live, you'll be the first to know about it, and you'll get a quick preview of any of these that I get early. That's the best way to stay up to date on everything with the channel. And then also make sure to follow me on Instagram, link down in the description. And I'm now doing TikTok. No dancing, not yet. I haven't done the Renegade yet, but I am on TikTok and I'm trying to promote some physical media on there. There isn't a whole lot of that community on there right now, but I am generating some interest already in just a few days of posting. So if you're on there, come check me out at Films at Home. I'll leave a link down in the description there as well. And check out all the other links in my description for ways you can support the channel. But anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.